Today's topic is who invented calculus. First of all, let me briefly introduce calculus. Calculus focuses on the change of functions. Suppose there is a function y equals to fx. What is the slope of that point? Or what is the area between x equals to a and b? Calculus teaches us how to figure out these two problems. We use the technique of differentiation to calculate the slope of the function and the technique of integration to calculate the area. Let's talk about the history of calculus before we try to understand it. The earliest period of the development of calculus would be 400 BC, the ancient Greece. Around 400 BC, a mathematician Eudoxus invented the method of exhaustion to find the volume and areas of shapes. And around 240 BC, Archimedes further developed the method of exhaustion and proved that the area of circles is equal to pi r squared, and he used heuristic to find further areas. This is the early development of integral calculus. Meanwhile, he studied the spiral, which is called Archimedes' spiral today. He spread it into two components, radial and circular motion, added the two motions together by doing this to find the tangents of the curve, which is the early development of differential calculus. And goes to the 17th century. There were numerous notable European mathematicians who had different contributions to the study of calculus, such as Bonaventura Cavalieri, Isaac Barrow, René Descartes, Pierre de Fermat, Blaise Pascal, and John Wallis. All of them began to discuss about the idea of the derivative. Later on, there has been a controversy about who invented calculus even until this modern day, Gottfried Leibniz or Isaac Newton. Who invented calculus? At that time, Isaac Newton wanted to develop a new mathematical system to solve a physics problem. He wanted to use mathematics to explain his theories of gravitation, motion, and orbits of the planets. He found that the secants are getting smaller and smaller until it only touches a point where the tangent exists. And that's the derivative, which can apply to any curves, any points, to find the rate of change. And he also found that integration is the inverse operation of differentiation. The integral calculus is finding the area, which means the distance traveled, while the slope is the velocity or the rate of change. He published the Principle of Natural Philosophy in 1687. However, Gottfried Leibniz published the Theory of Calculus in 1684, which is earlier than Newton. And nowadays, we are still using his notation, Leibniz's modern notation, to solve calculus problems. Although Newton was in England and Leibniz was in Germany, and they were developing calculus separately, people argued who invented calculus. In my own opinion, all the mathematicians I have mentioned before are the developers of calculus. We should give credits to all of them. Yet, I think Newton would be the first discoverer of calculus, mainly focused on motion, and Leibniz would be the first publisher who focused on the sum and difference.